Or you think that they understand them and your message is getting across?
Well, I say many shall be called, but only few chosen.
I hope you heard that. The inimitable Bob Marley saying, "Many shall be called, but only few chosen." Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, and welcome to the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast number 191. This is the one about many being called, but only few chosen. As you're logging in, if you'd be kind enough to say where you're logging in from, hit the like button and feel free to continue doing so throughout the dialogue, throughout the broadcast. If you're catching the simulcast over on the YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well. I promised Brooks Long that I would. I have no idea what happened there. So anyhow, here we go. If you look at the internet, you see so many people who feel called to comment about Bruce Lee and about Jeet Kune Do. Some appear to consider themselves authorities, while others have taken up the mantle of Bruce Lee historian or Jeet Kune Do historian. But I wonder how many of them were actually chosen to play these parts or fulfill these roles. There are many JKD students, obviously, under the many different JKD instructors, and everybody's having a grand old time. But I wonder if there's any aspect to their training or any aspect to their relationship with the instructor that takes it a little further, that takes it perhaps a little bit deeper. Although Jeet Kune Do was quite the renegade martial art, with its eschewal of much of the classical protocols, Bruce Lee, from several accounts, was still pretty much a traditionalist when it came to things like respect and discipline in martial art training, in the martial art setting. On page 46 of Jeet Kune Do, The Art and Philosophy of Bruce Lee, there's a photograph of, it looks like perhaps the rules and regulations for the Junfan Gung Fu Institute, and down at the bottom in like item 7, I think it says, always bow before and after each practice. And then it says something else, but then it finishes off with this: observe the difference between student to student salutation and student to instructor salutation, which that's pretty interesting, right? That Bruce Lee had something like that in the rules and regulations for his Gung Fu Institutes. So I suspect, therefore, that Bruce Lee may have been outwardly, kind of a hipster cat, but inwardly, he might have been one heck of a serious Gung Fu man, which makes me ask, did Bruce Lee have any disciples in Jeet Kune Do, or were they all just students? Now, I know over the years, the different magazines have done their thing about, what do you call it? Actually, they misspell it. And instead of saying proteges, they talk about prodigies, but they actually mean proteges. So my question is, did Bruce Lee have disciples in JKD, or was everybody just a student? Discipleship in Chinese martial art is a serious thing, and it's often with overtones only, okay, of a kind of a parent-child relationship. But in a setting between two adults, how would that manifest? I think it'd be found in what kind of private interactions there might be between the instructor and the student. Interactions that would wholly transfer that person into what's sometimes known as an inner student. I just read something in a Ted Wong article where he says that whenever Bruce Lee would come back to the States, he would always come to visit him. And then the two of them would always go over to see Dan Inosanto, where Bruce Lee, and this is a direct quote from Sifu Wong, where Bruce Lee would share his adventures, share his knowledge. So that sounds to me like Bruce Lee had taken both of them, both Ted Wong and Dan Inosanto, into his inner circle. And to me, that means elevating them both to the status of disciple versus just mere student. So my next question is, did the concept of discipleship end in Jeet Kune Do with Bruce Lee? Because I imagine if a JKD instructor considered someone a disciple of his, it would be shown in some way. For example, I remember back in the day, there hung at his school a wall plaque listing the disciples of Wing Chun Sifu Francis Fong. Now, without such a display, is there a way to tell if someone is a disciple versus a mere student of a Jeet Kune Do instructor? Perhaps we can tell by how that person conducts him or herself out there in the martial arts world. What I'm saying is, how closely to the instructor's behavior is this person's own behavior? Can that person be considered a lineage holder based on how he or she continues the instructor's teachings or continues the instructor's approach to teaching? And while you're thinking about that discipleship thing, consider if there was such a thing as a Jeet Kune Do apostle. Now that would be something to really rock the JKD world, right? Okay, so what say you? Do you think that martial arts discipleship is a thing which has gone the way of the dodo bird, or is it still a valid concept? Please let me know in the comments below, and that's all I got to say about this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D. Woods. On Friday at 6 p.m., Jeet Kune Do Dialogues open Q&A with none other than myself, right? Friday at 6 p.m. So join me live and interact, ask your questions or bring up something to discuss or debate. If you don't want to or you can't join the live stream, email me your question or your comment at jkdrebel@gmail. And yeah, that's it. I'll do my best to answer everything that comes my way. All right, it's because I already see today's a blue day. There's your shirt. All right, so I'll see some of you on Friday at 6. Otherwise, I'll see you back here next week for another issue of the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast. Until then, this is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Talk soon.
Do it the other way. Damn. Do the other leg. Okay. Alright. Okay? Yeah. Yeah.
Great job.
Okay. What are we doing now?